Right, so we have a brand new method for the hook orbitals. I found a way to do it using hook spikes and the aura of the hooks. We're also going to work that out for generators and also for exit gates as well. But for the hook orbitals, you can count a way to get a rough distance to work out roughly where it's going to be, and then you use the hook spike to figure out exactly whereabouts you are. Again, it's going to have to be pinpoint accurate, but this is the method I now use to figure out my hook orbitals. So you can see we've got the Dwight on the hook here. He's going to go into Camerati in a second because we're trying to buy time while he's on hook. And we've got Pio over here on the gen who's going to unhook him once I'm ready and I feel like I'm lined up. So we're just going to roughly count away like we normally do with the 5.5 steps in the omnipresent, just to work out a rough idea of distance. We're not being exact with it. We're just working out roughly how far it is. So it's going to be over in this area. And then what we're going to do is we're going to... you can see the hook auras here. So you can see the spike of the hook spike is, you got the tip of the spear, right? And then above that, you got another spike that's sticking out from the spear, the next spike up. Now, if you line it up with the hook aura, you can see that if the tip of the spike touches the bottom of the hook and the top of this, I'll mark this up on the screen so that you can see what I'm talking about. The top of that next spike is in line with the top of the hook. Now, I'm on 90... Let me just show you, I'm on 91 FOV at the minute, so this applies to 91 FOV. We don't have to worry about changing the other settings. This is what we're at. So with the hook spike, you can only do this with the hook spike. This is what I always do with it. And you make sure that the tip of the spear is lined up with the bottom of the hook, and then that top part of that second spike lines up with the top of the hook aura. And then what I'll do is I'll get Pierre to pull the survivor now, and we'll throw it and we'll see. Right, can you pull for me, Pierre? Okay, he's going to pull him off the hook now. I'm going to throw it. Okay, here it goes with a pull, and then we're just going to switch to the view. And you can see that is a perfect land, perfect shot. And that's how I now line up the hook orbitals. Right, and next we have the orbital for the generators. Now, there is another way that I use the hook spike to also do these now, which is much easier, I find, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. So again, we're going to be working on this generator on the hill here. We're going to have my Dwight set on this side of the gen, on the thin side, and then Pio is going to be set on this side of the gen over here. So I'm just going to pop over to the other side of the map, and then we're going to go, it's roughly about this far away. And so what we're going to do now is with the generator aura. So again, we're on 91 FOV, and see with the hook spike, you've got the main tip of the spear, and then to above and below it, we have another two different blocks of like rebar that are sticking out. Okay, so we're going to go from the top point of the rebar that's above the spike tip, and then also the bottom point of the rebar below the spike tip. I'll put little markers on the screen so you can see what I'm talking about. That's where we're going to be using. The top one has to be in line with the top of the lights of the gen. The bottom point has to be in line with the bottom of the aura of the gen. Okay, so you can see if we line this up, the bottom rebar lines up with the bottom rebar lines up with the bottom of the gen here, and then the top lines up with the spine. Now, it does bounce up and down because of the animation, but we can see that that's roughly what we're going for. Okay, that's what we're looking for. It's probably a little bit further back here. Okay, and then we're going to line up with the left hand side of the gen and the row. And we're just going to watch and see where it hits. And we can see that as a direct hit on the side of the gen. Now, obviously, if you want to hit a little bit further, just take a tiny step forward. That's it. It's as simple as that. But that's how we hit generator orbitals using the hook spikes and the auras. It's a much simpler way. Just got to make sure that you're using a hook spike to do it. Next, we're going to take a look at the exit gates. Right, and now we have the orbital for the exit gate switches. Now, to do this with the hook spike, what we're going to use is you've got the tip of the spear, obviously in the middle, and then we've got one rebar down, and then we have the second rebar down below that is a tiny little bit of rebar that is sticking out, and there is a point at the bottom right of that. We're going to line up that point. I'll put marks on screen so you can see what I'm talking about. At that point, we're going to line up with the top of the aura of the exit gate switch. Then the next rebar at the bottom, the most furthest one at the bottom, there is a bottom right point to that rebar that we're going to use to line up with the bottom of the exit gate aura switch. So I'm just going to put two lines on screen now to show you exactly where they are that we're paying attention to. So you can see this top line here is in line with the rebar second up, and that's going to be on the top of the exit gate switch aura. And then the bottom rebar, that bottom right point is going to be in line with the bottom of the exit gate switch. You can see the two lines here. That's where the exit gate switch is going to sit. It's going to sit in between that little gap. So we're going to line that up now with the, I think it's roughly around about here. If we go here, so we're going to line that up, that top point here with the top of the SK switch, and we can see that that bottom one now lines up with that one. Just paying attention to the upswing because we have to look at the right point. We can see when it moves up, the top point is in line with it, and the bottom point is then in line with the bottom of the aura. So now we're just going to look at the switch, and we're going to look up and through. And we can see that's a perfect hit for the exit gates. Now, they are the 3 ways that I now do my orbitals. It means we always use hook spikes to make sure we do them. And it just makes it a lot easier for me. We use the counting method. I'm sure you guys have seen the counting method from Coconut, as well as Bushido also uses them. But I use the counting method to roughly work out a distance, and then from there I use the hook spikes to then work out where it is based on the aura, depending on whether we're looking at an exit gate switch, or we're looking at a hook, or we're looking at a generator. So we have 3 different ways to do it. It's much easier. There will be times in which you can still miss because it is absolutely pinpoint accurate. You have to make sure the auras and the hook spike are lined up perfectly. That's going to be down to time, practice. Just keep practicing it. Your eyes will get used to where they are located, and then eventually it will just speed up the ability that you are able to throw these orbitals. So I hope this has been very helpful. I know I've got a lot of videos on orbitals and stuff, so I wanted to combine all my 3 variants into one final video of the way that I now do my orbital shots. I hope it's really hope it's helped, and I hope I see a lot more orbital Jasons out there because it is great fun. If you had found this video helpful, please consider dropping a like and hit that subscribe button so you can stay up to date with any new videos. So we drop compilations and streamer videos and stuff that we're going to be releasing soon. But thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.
The fog will call again, and when it does, I'll be waiting.